Sonny, Joey, 500. Got some goats in the thing. Get ready for a shakedown.
Prepare for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepare for it, man. Y'all get it. My QB got swag. My wideout is award winning. This fly was fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown.
Here comes
the shakedown.
Let's go.
You're right the way, King Dingbat here, and welcome to another Philly Shakedown podcast. This is a Sunday night episode. We don't remember what episode. We forgot. We've lost count. Joey Shakes, what's up, my man? How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm it's we're getting by, a lot of the off season's done now. And I mean, we're kind of seeing for a few spots what's going to happen, but 4 months left until the season starts and can't get any fast enough. So I'm hoping we get through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sorry about last night, guys. That was on me. My cat had kittens and it was like all night event all night long. I had so much going on. I was not able to do it last night. So we're doing it tonight. But I thank everybody for joining. Wombat's here. Jade is young. Philly Day. Samuel's here. Even though Samuel, I think he likes the Eagles. Sandeep, yep. Filthy, AJ, what's going on? Everybody, what's happening? I see a lot of people. Boys for Life is here. Jinx Wolf, Tortyville, Nick, Cryptologist, Gang, what's going on? And we're gonna have to do now like that it's going to kind of get to the slow part, and we don't have so much news. I know that we probably need to do one of those content creators shows again. Bring like Boys for Life in. I'd like to get Desert Eagle on. And other guys who would like to come on. I think that would be kind of cool.
Definitely
help promote them and stuff like that. So we haven't really talked since the schedule came out. What are your thoughts? And let me pull up the schedule right here. Let's get. I want to pick Joey's brain on this because I don't know what he's thinking. What are your thoughts on this schedule right here?
Okay. Number one, okay, when you look at a schedule, okay, everything has to be perfect. Okay, we're looking at a season right now where three things have to work out with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think one is Shane Steichen, the offensive coordinator. Number two is Jalen Hurts, and I think number three is going to be Jonathan Gannon defensively. So I'm trying not to be biased with this schedule, and this is if we're 100% healthy and Jalen Hurts is playing really well. And we're going into this thing thinking that, the Eagles are going to have a monster year, and I think they will. I mean, I have the Eagles going 13-4 right now. I kind of was being a little too generous for some teams, but I look at it like this. I think the Eagles can go actually 6-0 the first 6 weeks, okay? We obviously have that, that Vikings home opener. I think you go to Washington, you win that game. Dougie P comes home, and a lot of new pieces, a lot of new coaching staff. We might get a win there. The Cardinals do not have DeAndre Hopkins because of that PD usage. Week 5. And then the Cowboys, you have them Sunday night, which, I have to split. I have us splitting with the Cowboys. I had to be generous a little bit. So I have us splitting with them. Then obviously the bye week, and the bye week is interesting because it's a very early bye week. It's not really a good bye week. If it was like week 8 or 9, it would be a little bit more fair, but I think going into the Texans game on Thursday night and then playing the Monday night after that for the Commanders week 10, it's kind of like a mini bye in my opinion. I really do like the extra. We're going to have some extra time if some guys are injured. I really think that, you have like a bye week and like a mini bye week on top of it from Thursday to literally the week after next Monday night. So there's a lot of time available right there. The meat and potatoes of the schedule, that's kind of, it's going to be tough. We could win two out of the 3 games between week 11 and week 13 between the Colts, Packers, and Titans. The Colts have, Matt Ryan, obviously good offense, great defense, a lot of good pieces. I think it's really going to be up to Matt Ryan, hopefully, and to see if he's healthy by that week. And we don't know what they're going to look like by that week. So with the Colts, I had us on a loss to that game. I was kind of being generous for that game. The Packers might be a hard one. It's another primetime game. The Titans might be another tough game as well. And then you're at the Giants. I think they're going to split with the Giants only because week 18 if we're already winning the East, we pretty much win the NFC East, and we're going to be pretty much getting players out of this game and going to be, not starting a lot of guys. So I think they take a lot of guys out for that game. The Saints is an important game, Week 17, just because of that first-round pick we do have next year. So I have us winning that game, depending on what, they have Chris Olave, Michael Thomas comes back, really James Winston coming off of an ACL last year. So they were 5-2 when he was playing last year and played really well. They have a new head coach in Sean Payton's not there anymore. So we'll see how, they use that offense and see if they're going to have a top 5 defense next year, which they should have a pretty good defense next year. And really, other than that, I said 13-4. I think it's, I'm trying not to be biased. I'm trying to be a little bit fair, but that's why I'm going to be honest with all of you. Like, I don't really like, I really don't like schedule reviews because, number one, like, we still have pieces we need right now, and we got to see what this whole thing is going to unveil. In a perfect world, in a perfect season with no injuries, and Jalen Hurts playing to his advantage, at the top of his game, I think things could happen this way. So we'll see.
Interesting. I think, I do this schedule prediction thing, but I don't take it that seriously. Like, some people get mad at me. How can you say we're going to lose this week? Or how can you say that we'll lose this week? Like, the way I see it is, like, I had Houston beating us, right? Not that I think they're better, but I had to put a loss in there somewhere that, we always lose a game we're supposed to win, right? It always happens. So it's like, you're just guessing. You don't really know. I think the Eagles, when I look at this, I think they win between 11 and 13 games. I think that's where they're going to win, between 11 and 13 wins, nobody on that schedule scares me. Not like the teams we played last year when we had to go play Kansas City, when we had to play Tampa Bay. Like, those were games we got no chance that game. You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah.
Scaldy with the baldy. Thank you for the super chat. He says, late stream, I like it. Eagles going 11-6. I could totally see 11-6, and I'm trying to catch up. I'm way behind on these chats. So yeah, I mean, I think between 11 and 13 wins is possible. I think the toughest part of that schedule is the Colts, Tennessee, and I forget who the other Green Bay. That's the toughest stretch for them. Really, Dallas. We're gonna sweep Dallas this year. We're sweeping. I'm calling it out. I'm sweeping.
We'll see.
Nina says 13-4. How you doing, Nina? 13-4. I could see it. I totally could see it. 11-5. I think between those two. You know what I mean? Cryptologist says 500 Joey. When we win plus 12 games, will you be happy giving Hurts $35 million a year contract, or what happens? It depends how he plays. Like, if you win all those games and it's because your defense and he didn't do anything, that's one thing. But if he's going out there and showing you that he's the guy, then yeah. I need him to pass the eye test. I need to see, like, I want to see situations where they're down and he has to throw and win the game with his arm. Like, those are the kind of things that make me say, yeah, do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Especially expanding the run, with the playbook, doing more play action, not running, not passing too much. I think they should pass a little bit more, but, keep that run game going, keep the defense on their heels, because you have a crowd running back room, a good offensive line. Now you have A.J. Brown, so you can't be doing RPOs and read options the whole game. You got to expand that playbook for Jalen Hurts.
You got to throw more this year with those guys. You've got to take advantage of it. So I'm excited about this year. Chazzy Chaz says 10-7 until we get that secondary right. Now, this kind of takes us into the next thing I want to talk about. Right. There's a gaping hole, and we all know it in the secondary. I think the safety and the cornerback position, right? My personal opinion is the Eagles need to be going after James Bradberry with a vengeance. Like, I think should be the number one priority. What are your thoughts on him, and what do you think about a situation where you can only get one? You can only get one corner or one safety.
I don't know, because with James Bradberry coming as a number one corner from the Giants and being that number two bridge guy, I think he'll play really good as a number two, depending on the contract. And really with other teams involved right now, like the Raiders, I mean, he'd be making over 10 a year. It just depends on how many years, the length of this contract, and how much it's going to be. But if you can't get James Bradberry, I think you have to kind of, think of the other, veteran free agent corners that are out there like Joe Hayden, Kyle Fuller, and Xavier Rhodes is probably the one that intrigues me because he played with, Jonathan Gannon was the corner coach with the Colts when he was the corner for him. So, and had a really good year on that 1-year deal. So I feel like if they don't get Bradberry, they can kind of, let this cornerback room, if Tay Gowan's coming, really hasn't had an offseason with the Eagles except for this year and that we got him in that, Zach Ertz trade last year. Mac McCain. I mean, you have that Mario Goodrich, we got as an undrafted free agent. Josh Jobe is another guy that, didn't play in the SEC championship game and had foot surgery in December. So I think there's a lot of bodies. I think you just let these, if you can't get Bradberry, let these young guys compete. But I mean, even if Bradberry, sure, you still let those guys compete to see if you even have something. So I think that's what they should do.
I love letting those guys compete, but I like the idea of having a veteran in here to just, just in case, and if one of those guys goes out and beats the veteran you brought in, then by all means play him. That's how I feel about it. Darlene says, Philly 500, Mark Holmes, and everybody knows who had the better draft week. Oh, Mark Holmes is scared right now. I saw he's doing a video on me a day right now. He's so angry because he's jealous. They know what we did. We took guys. They love. Listen, I saw a comment somewhere here. I think it's Texas boy, right? He says Jordan Fat Ass Davis not going to do nothing before the draft. That's all the Cowboys wanted was Jordan Davis. Now he stinks. Right now he's not that good. He stinks. He doesn't work hard enough. Right? I mean, come on. I mean,
crazy.
It is crazy. Porterville says, guessing Bradberry will want 10 to 15 million. He might, but listen, if you could do it, do it. Like, there's ways especially a 1-year deal, you could structure it so they get upfront money. I mean, if anybody can fix the contract, it's Howie Roseman. Did anybody think that you would have AJ Brown in his first year? He's $5 million against our cap this year. So, I mean, there's ways to work around it. For a Derek, I don't know if I said that right, but he says, how do you feel about our coaches, even with the talent? Go Birds. Interesting question. What are your thoughts?
I think we kind of see this whole offseason, especially in free agency. We didn't see any coaching changes. I think they want to keep everything the same. I don't think they're making moves on the coaching staff yet because they still want to keep this roster the way it is. And kind of, it's like, I don't think it's just a prove it deal, a prove it year for a lot of these players, but I think it's a prove it year for a lot of these position coaches and obviously our coordinators as well. Because with Jonathan Gannon and Shane Steichen, I think there's a lot on their plate right now to really get this done. I think you added a good receiver in AJ Brown. And now you have a lot of defensive pieces now, and you're still missing a couple pieces. But I mean, this defense should definitely rise up above average, depending on who they get. But I think it just comes down to just how the coaches are using these players every game to their strengths, not putting them in bad situations. And really, that's it. I think next year is going to be the year in 2023 that they start making coaching changes. If this is a failed season or there's a position that's lacking. Coaching wise, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I see it like this. I watched Nick Sirianni come in and try to be a passing offense first, and basically, for weeks struggled. I saw this guy go back and change basically his whole offense to fit what worked for his team. Right? In my opinion, like. I don't know. I think I don't see why he can't change his system again or adjust it again to fit these wide receivers. Is your problem with him? Is it with Steichen? Like, what do you think? Whose concerns you?
It's both because I think Hurts is struggling. And I thought early in the season when Hurts was struggling, they didn't run the ball. I mean, they didn't help Jalen Hurts. I mean, you're not even play designing Devontae Smith to get the ball because really early in the season, what they do with Devontae Smith, he was really used for screen passes and comeback route. I mean, that's really it. That's all he was used for. But Steichen has got to do a better job. And hopefully with this, crowd receiver room now, they will start the right guys, whether if they keep 5 or 6 receivers this year. And yeah, I think Steichen has a lot on him right now. And hopefully they're not a second half team like the defense was as well. So I think it's between Hurts, Steichen, and really the hot seat is going to Jonathan Gannon. So
Yeah. Oh, Jonathan Gannon to me is on the hot seat because my biggest fear when it comes to coaches is him. Like, last year the excuse was, well, I didn't have the players to do the scheme I want. Now this year you clearly have some guys. So we should see a lot more aggressive, a lot more blitzing, and it should be interesting. George Burwell, man, thank you for super chat. He says, "What's going on, Denzel and Shakes? Hope everything is going well, and for both of y'all, thank you, man. You too. I think we can win 11 to 12 games. Been hearing about Jesse Bates. What are your thoughts on maybe trading for him?" So Jesse Bates from the Bengals, right?
He's got a franchise tag on him though. What is it, like $12 million or something like that?
I don't know.
He's playing on a franchise tag.
Did they franchise him?
I think they did. From what I heard, I think they did.
Well, I mean, I think he's pretty decent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, will they want to trade Andre Dillard? Are they still looking for a left tackle?
I hope.
There you go. I mean, I'm open to. I haven't heard anything on Bates at all. The guy we hear about, and we could also talk about is Chuck Clark. Apparently, the Eagles were in negotiations to trade Jalen Reagor for Chuck Clark, right? And the interesting part about this was that the Baltimore initiated this trade.
Yeah,
I would have done it, but I'm sure Baltimore wanted a lot more. I'm sure they wanted. I'm sure it was Reagor and like something else. You know what
I think. I think that you may be right about that, but I think the Eagles actually wanted more for Reagor. Maybe they offered a 5th, 6th round pick. Maybe the Eagles want a 3rd to a 4th. Maybe they want a little bit. I know for where he was drafted, we should get a higher pick, but his production is where. I mean, at this point, what are you trying to get for him? I would have done it for a stale Dorito, like one stale Dorito trade accepted. No question about it. That guy stinks, man. Horrible.
But I hope that my hope is that if they've talked already about it, that they revisit this trade later on. David, thank you so much for super chases. I prefer Boston Scott over Miles. I say we don't sign Booby. Thank you for super chat. I like Miles more, and I said this when I was on with Dan Silly the other day. I think Miles gonna have a big year. I just think that they're not going to sign him anyways because how teams feel about running backs and paying running backs a lot of money. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, get it.
Jeffrey says, I think that this team has the capability of really losing 2 games because no one's scared. Nobody scares me at all. But you know how it goes. There's always the team that beats you that you're like, there's no way we should have lost to this team in a million years. In my schedule prediction, I said Houston for one reason. It was because it was a Thursday night game and you were traveling. It had nothing to do with me thinking Houston's better. But, the Eagles always lose that game that you're like, how did we lose that game? We should not have lost that game.
True.
So who will it be this year, Morgan Holmes, thank you for super chat. He says, author Juan Brown is going to be a monster. Watch Agent Smith take corners through the Matrix to see the Oracle. Man, now you're talking. We're getting in Matrix references. That's what I'm talking about. You as Denzel Washington, that just gets my acting juices going. They're going right now. It's crazy. Hey, look, I think the Eagles should win 11 or 12 games, 11 to 13 games.
It's hard to say not. They can't. It's hard to say they can't.
I mean, I don't feel like it's being biased. I really look at the schedule and I don't. There's nobody scares me. Are you telling me we can't beat Dallas? Are you telling me we can't beat New Orleans? Like, I got people, New Orleans Saint fans saying, how dare you say that you're going to beat New Orleans? Well, we beat you 2 times in Philly, the last 2 times, late in the year. You got to go to Philly in December in the cold. We've done it already. Why can't we do it again?
True. True.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that it's realistic. Now, if they add a corner or a safety or both, how much better do you think they can be?
Well, I mean, a lot better. I mean, yeah. I mean, then you know maybe Gannon won't have to, move these corners off the line. Maybe a little trust in Slay and bring in another veteran guy and say, hey, a little bit more press during games. Where I understand you want to give up the big play, and I can't stand that he does that every game. And like I get it, but you're doing it to almost every team, and no teams are offensively are really fearing this defense. But going into this year now, if you can get a number 2 corner, look, I'd rather get a corner right now because. Even if they can't get a safety and they want to keep Epps for the year, it is what it is. Like if they keep Epps, I think he's a number 3 safety, a good role playing safety. If everything's built well around Marcus Epps, I think he could play well. Don't put too much on his plate. Obviously, getting Chuck Clark would be great because he can move all over the field. Not even safety, you can put him at corner. You can put him anywhere you want. 27 years old, I think 27 or 28, only a $4.6 million cap hit, right up Howie's alley for a short cap hit. So I mean. Right. Even if they keep Marcus Epps, I'd be fine with it. Even if you want to try to move some guys around with some of these undrafted guys, see who else can be better than Epps. I mean, there's plenty of competition out there. So I think getting that number 2 corner is very important. I think that's the main target.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think so, too. Like I feel like if you added Chuck Clark and didn't add a safety, that's still going to be a problem. But I feel like that maybe Epps can hold the fort down if you can only choose one. Now, if you get Bradberry and Chuck Clark.
Oh, you're set.
Forget about it. But I don't know if they would do that. I don't know if they could do that. Daz Deal says, "What's up, man? What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Let me try to catch up to some of these chats. It's going quick. We have over 400 people in here. I didn't think we'd have that much this late at night on a Sunday."
Thanks,
Kaz Hanna, thank you for super chat. The Commandos are going to be perfect in the NFC East at 0-6. They only command last place. Well, that's a pretty tough battle between them and the Giants because the Giants look like they're well on their way to last place again, too. Although I will say I did like the Giants draft. I do think the Giants got better. But they still have Daniel Jones,
Yeah, that's it.
And maybe that's what they think. And maybe that's what they think about us. We only have Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, but they don't have extra first round picks for next year. And if are they going to pay a 5th-year option for Daniel Jones, even though it said they didn't? I mean, they could change their mind if he starts playing well and give him another contract. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But
yeah, Jeffrey says Kavon's athletic potential is why we drafted him. So I say one more year, maybe even next year, he will be what Mills was for us, a star level that can play. I think he's going to be good. I thought Kavon was a great pick. I thought the offensive line was a great pick. And it's funny because Giants fans are like, I went into Bad Dog's chat after the draft, and people were like, man, I'm sorry to hear that you took Jordan Davis. I'm sorry, you must have been upset. I'm like, why would I be upset that they took Jordan Davis? Jeffrey says they took Kavon for athletic potential. Well, what is Jordan Davis but an athletic freak? So
yeah.
we did the same thing,
Yeah, true that.
It's crazy. But I mean, I think they got to get the Eagles got to address the safety or corner position. That one more move, and I think it solidifies the division. Chris says that's true, but I watched Super Bowl in 4K. How about you? Oh, they're still talking. Yeah, Cowboy fans are still in VHS mode. Boy, Mark Holmes is really pissed off at me. I don't think he likes all the Jordan Davis pictures I keep sending him. You thought it was bad with. You thought it was bad with Matt Corral. Oh, yeah. And I throw Dean in there every once in a while.
You were obsessive.
Oh, it's really bad now. Jock talks to 8500. Hey, Joey, how's everyone? How you doing,
what up,
my man?
Jock?
It's going to be interesting. Now, listen, we've improved this offense. We've improved the offensive line. We've pretty much improved everywhere except for corner and safety. But at the end of the day, this is all about Jalen Hurts, man. We go as Jalen Hurts goes. What are your expectations for him this year? Like seriously, like do you feel like that he's going to take that step, or do you feel like it's not going to be enough? What do you think?
I feel like for what Jalen Hurts has right now, there's really no excuse for him to go far with this offense. Like, I think they could win the East. I think they could at least win a playoff game this year. I think in the conference, the NFC conference, I think they're the 5th, 6th best team in the conference right now. There's a little bit of competition, but not as much like the AFC. So I feel like there's a big step coming for Hurts. And if it doesn't, look, if Hurts works out this year, you have 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick to do whatever the hell you want with next year. I feel if Hurts goes beyond expectations this year, I think they're competing for a Super Bowl next year. I think they're actually going to compete next year. I do.
Yeah. Jeffrey says, I meant Kevon Wallace, brother. He's going to beat out. He meant Kevon Wallace, not Kevon Thibodeau.
Oh,
my bad.
Thibodeau.
My bad. My bad. I'm
sucks,
sorry.
So.
Listen, I was really high on Kevon Wallace coming out. And I still don't even know if we've really gotten to see what he can do. He's always hurt. So, I mean, if he could come out and beat out Epps, I think that would be great, Jeffrey. I mean, we need a break like that. We need like him or McPherson, like somebody to develop and be a solid starter. That would be best case scenario, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
I think it's all about Hurts this year. And I mean, I don't want to say he's got to have this kind of numbers to resign him or he has to have this or that. But I think if he has anywhere similar, maybe not even as big of a jump as Carson Wentz had between his first and second year, he could have somewhere, you know, around that. The Eagles could go to the Super Bowl. They could go to the Super Bowl. You know, I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. It's
crazy to say, but it's like Hurts knows the outside noise of what's going on, what they're saying about him, and you know, when it comes to mentality and work effort, it's off the charts. But that has to match his play going to the season. That's just what that's what we don't know right now. It's the extension time at the end of the year, so we'll see. Yeah, I think. Look, he has all the intangibles, and he has all the reasons to think that he's going to do it, and he just has to go and do it. And to me, the best case scenario for the Eagles is he goes out and kills it. You then don't need your franchise quarterback. You have him, and then you sit there with those 2 first-round picks next year, and you load up, and that would be great. Kazana says, I can't remember when the NFC East had a repeat winner. 2004 was the last time the Eagles did it. Oh crap! Clark says, hold on, Clark. I'm sorry. Yeah, I have it here. Hold on. Every time. It never shows up in StreamYard, so I forgot to keep open. Clark Roberts said, member for 7 months of Dingbat Superfans. Thank you, my man. He says, I hope Bradberry happens. I think this isn't off the wall in saying we could be a 13-win team on the top end, 11-6 on the low. That's about what I think, you know. What did we win, 9 games last year? Yeah. Yep. So are we better than – did we improve by 2 games? Because at least that's the question. And then you look at the schedule. Is the schedule as difficult as it was the previous year? I don't think it is at all. Much. I think a lot. I think it's definitely easier this year. I think we had a harder schedule last year. 100%. So why not 11 wins, 12 wins? I don't think that's unreasonable at all. No. Brett, a member for 8 months of Dingbat Nation, he says, Philly Nation and Joey, what's going on? What's going on with you, man? Thank you for your support. Appreciate you. I think it's quite possible, you know. Let's see. Imagine still think the Eagles are good with Hurts at quarterback. Texas boy, you sound scared. Like you Cowboy fans sound scared. Your only hope is that Jalen Hurts isn't the guy. Because if he isn't the guy, then that's the only way you have a chance in this division. And even if he isn't the guy and he just plays like he did last year, we're still winning 10 games. We still win 10 games if he just plays as well as he did last year. I mean it. Take away what? How many touchdowns did they have called back last year? Like 7? 6 to 8. So 6 to 8. You give him half of those touchdowns back. Let's say he doesn't play any better than he did a year ago. Yeah. They're still a 10-win team. Now, if he's any better, you're in trouble. I think Dallas is scared to death right now. That's why Mark Holmes is lashing out at me. I mean it. I'm not even kidding. See, how many wide receivers you keeping and who? That's a great question. I think they're going to keep at least 5, right? Maybe 6 with the extended roster. Yeah. So you keep AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins. They should all be locks to make this team. Zach Pascal should be a lock to make this team. And then you maybe keep one more. The question is what happens with Regular? Are they going to keep him? Or are they going to trade him or try to cut him? I think they're going to move him. I don't think Rager is going to be on this team when the season starts. I really don't. No, me neither. And then you still got what's his face? I'm forgetting his name off the top of my head. Greg Ward. Talking about?
Greg Ward. Yeah, you have Greg Ward Jr. I don't think Rager's better than Greg Ward Jr.
Well, it scares me because they valued Rager over Greg Ward last year. I mean, he was valued above everybody. So,
yeah, Well, and they did that with to me they did it because he was a first round pick. That's the only reason they do it. So I think Greg Ward would be the fifth. The question is, what about some of these other guys, right? The undrafted free agent kid you like, his name's
Britton Covey.
His name. I'm totally fried, by the way, guys. It's been the longest 2 weeks for me in the world. So I'm fried. So I can't remember names. Yeah, Covey. What about the kid from Oregon? Or any of those guys going to make the team in special teams?
Yeah, Covey is interesting, man. Like, he's a yak yardage king when it comes to special teams. He's played slot receiver. He's really fast. I mean, he's small. He's 5'5", he's 5'7", 5'8", 170 pounds. But I could see him. I don't know. He might be a total bust for all we know. I don't know. I make my assumptions. I make my opinions. He could be he could be a third down or situational gadget wide receiver for end arounds, just for the small passes, slant passes, go routes. I mean, you could use him on, small things like that. I don't know what they're going to do with him. I mean, I hope he's not a bust. I hope we need a kick returner. I mean, I think he'd be a perfect kick returner for us if that's the case. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Training camps will be fun.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. 21 Gun says Rager might get one more chance. He might get one more chance. And if he does, then that means most likely, in my opinion, you're not going to see Quez get nearly enough snaps because they're probably going to start out by trying to use him more since he's a first-round pick. You got to justify the money. And then, does that take away from guys like Quez, Pascal? And then you take a roster spot away from Greg Ward Jr. because you're going to keep him? So that's my concern. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want it. Dallas Cowboys bench choking. I've been choking since 96. What a great name. He says, we can get Bradberry, or I would also say when the NFL roster cuts in the summer, wait till then. Yeah. Once the June post-June 1st cuts come out, somebody will wiggle free. I don't know if do they have to wait or anything for him to be signed?
Nah, he's released. He's officially available now.
I haven't seen any. I heard Oakland was after him, and I haven't heard anything since.
Yeah.
Espo, thank you for the super chat, my man. He says, remember too that the play calling in the first 6 to 8 weeks definitely kept us from being competitive. We were like 7-3 in the second half of the season. Yeah, I mean, and that's why I try to give these coaches some credit, because a lot of coaches, Chip Dip Kelly, will not change their offenses to fit the talent around them. They kind of keep trying to do the same thing. To me, Sirianni went back and changed his whole offense. So I have a lot of respect for him, and that's why I'm not so worried about the coaches as much, except for Jonathan Gannon.
Right.
He scares me. And Espo, thank you for super chat, man. We do appreciate it. We have over 474 people in the chat.
Wow.
Thank you guys so much for being here on Sunday night. Did not think we'd have this much. And if you guys haven't, click the link in the description. Go sub up my man Joey Shakes. If you're not subbed to him, I don't know where you've been. We've been rocking. He's been rocking for years now. So me and you started around the same time, right? I think
2016
seasons when we started.
Yeah.
We started the year before they won a Super Bowl. Because I get a lot of people say, you only started when they won a Super Bowl. I go, no, I started the year before. I started with my first great prediction. Sam Stinkford gets traded to Minnesota. I called that thing. That was it. Only like 3 people heard because I only had like 3 subscribers back then. But it's out there.
Right.
Daz Deals says, Eagle fans, check out Weapon X NFL Eagles vids. He has the best Eagles hype video. Great. I'll have to check them out. I don't think I've ever heard of them.
No, me neither. I don't think so.
But I always like hype videos. Marcus says, I have a question. I did not see y'all notification when they go live. What's up with YouTube? Dude, I don't know. But if you've been subscribed for a while, just double check. Make sure you're still subscribed. Make sure you're still subscribed to Joey, because YouTube does it. It keeps on subscribing people. And I don't know why, Eagles got way better receivers than the Cowboys. I think the Eagles have the best receiving core in the division. I mean, really, who's got a better receiving core? I take the Eagles receivers over Dallas. Dallas don't have Amari Cooper. They don't have Cedric Wilson anymore.
But like I'm just saying though, with the Cowboys, it's like, how do you know how CeeDee Lamb's going to play as a number one? How do you know about Jason Tolbert, how he's going to play? I mean, they're already saying Jason Tolbert's going to be a beast. I mean, he's a good receiver. Right. I think he could be a good receiver, but I mean, they're already saying. I mean, he's still unproven right now. And then And then Michael Gallup's coming off of 2 injuries. It's just
right. And me and Mark Holmes keep having this argument, like. He keeps saying, well, Michael Gallup's coming back, and once he comes back, we're fine. But he's come back from a torn ACL. Usually it takes a whole year for a guy to come back for that and be normal. Sure. So I don't expect Gallup. I expect Gallup to have an off year. Man, Dallas Cowboys are in for a rude surprise this year. It's going to be wonderful.
They're not the talk of the offseason. That's why they're not.
Oh, they're
the
flipping out.
Talk of the offseason right now.
Yeah, I saw Mark Holmes did a video on me last night. Like, I didn't even watch it yet, but he was telling he's mad about something. LLQ, he says Eagles got way better receivers than Cowboys. Yeah, I totally agree. VJ says Hurts needs 3,500 yards, 25 air touchdowns, and 10 run touchdowns, in my opinion. So 3,500 yards, 25 touchdowns through the air, 10 touchdowns running. You're probably, that probably gets him an extension, I think. I really do. Yeah. I would say you're right. I think that's about right. And I think it's capable. He's capable. Especially if he could be more accurate in certain, like some of those slant routes. Like if he could be more accurate in some of those slants, especially with AJ Brown, he may get 2-3 touchdowns out of them just breaking it. You know what I mean?
True.
Hurts. Everybody keeps saying Hurts is like I keep seeing people comparing to Tim Tebow. It's like not even on the same planet. Jalen Hurts is to me a good quarterback, and to me you could be a good quarterback and not a franchise quarterback. There's a difference between that. I think there's elite quarterbacks and there's franchise quarterbacks. Then there are good quarterbacks and there are average quarterbacks. He needs to show that he can be that next level, that franchise type quarterback. And I'm not going to doubt the guy. You know what I mean?
No.
Hurts has never been accurate. No, but he's got, the one thing is you can increase your accuracy. You can get better at being accurate. And if he's something he can get better at still, we got to give him a chance.
And usually when you get a new receiver like an AJ Brown, but AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts are best friends, and they've been working together every offseason, throwing to each other. So I mean, it's already there with the connection between them, which is great. So
yeah, how you all got better receivers? Hurt guys don't make you all good. All our guys are healthy right now. You got the guy coming back from injury. You're going to say because A.J. Brown was hurt last year that he's injured or he's been hurt a couple times. The guy still has 2 1,000-yard seasons. I would rather have A.J. Brown than CeeDee Lamb.
True.
Clip that, post it on Twitter, send it to the world. I'd rather have A.J. Brown than CeeDee Lamb. And, by the way, we still got Devontae Smith. Who do you got? Covey. Steve H says, Covey reminds me of Pat's guy. If we let him go, they will pick him up. Oh, Pat's guy. Yeah, if they let him go, we will pick him up. Could. I mean, the thing about guys like that is we've seen some guys come along, and I'm not being a downer, but we've seen guys come along where like, oh, this guy's going to be great in special teams. And then as soon as they get in the game, it's like they're deer in headlights. Like, sometimes guys just don't make the transition. Sometimes the guys do. You know who I think is going to miss the transition? I think the tight end that they got that took time off for concussions.
Oh, Grant Calcaterra.
I got a feeling he's going to make this roster, dude. There's something about him from watching him. I think he's got some talent.
Is there a number 2 that's really promising in that room right now with Tyree Jackson and Jack Stahl? I mean, do you think this kid might have a big chance? The JJ, obviously, that I don't think he's going to last at that position group, but
yeah, I mean, I like you don't like Stahl.
I mean, I don't think they've given him a chance as a catcher though. That's the thing. I think he's been most of a blocking tight end. So
yeah. I mean, I still think Tyree Jackson, though he's come back from injury, I'd still try to keep him. I'd stash him again. David, thank you for super chat, man. And I'm sorry if I missed these. I had to go back. David says, Greg Ward's a great kid. His headspace has always been great. No matter all the hurdles he has, He's great for the locker room. Yeah, I like Greg. I mean, we were saying this during the season. I would rather start him than Reagor in the slot. I thought he was a better receiver. Like, I would have started him. I hate that Reagor took snaps away from people that were better than him. And David, thank you for Super Chat. Richard came in. Thank you for Super Chat. He says, Sirianni went from all the way to one side of the spectrum, then switched to the opposite side. He doesn't seem to have any balance so far. Well, I mean, what was he supposed to do, though, last year? I don't know. I mean,
it's a first-year head coach. I mean,
he did. They wanted to become a passing offense, and they weren't there. Hurts wasn't there at the time. I thought he did what he had to do. I really thought, he did a great job. Now, if he stays, let's say if they run the same amount of times, I will say I agree with you. I just don't think they had the personnel to do it, or at least in their mind, because they didn't use Devontae Smith the right way. That's the one complaint I do have about them. But I don't think they had the passing game.
True.
I don't know. I mean, that's my opinion.
And I think the defense has put more guys in the box too, because really, maybe they respect Devontae Smith, maybe they respect Dallas Goedert, but really, you cover Devontae Smith, and you have a lot of, you're not. I think really it was just get pressure on Jalen Hurts, and the guy, and a lot. I think as the games went on, I think teams started to find out that he wasn't accurate, and it's just, I think that's what happened. And teams took advantage.
Kara, what's going on? What's happening? Well, my thoughts when I look at Hurts. My overview was he struggled early on. You remember every time he got pressure, he would bail to the right. Every time he felt pressure,
right.
Even if the pocket was there, he would go to his right and bail. And then I thought in the second half of the Chargers game, and I remember watching that game going, wow, Hurts is staying in the pocket more. He started to stay in the pocket more, and he started making throws. And he had a really good game. And then I thought he continued to improve. And then you went to that Tampa game, and it felt like he took a couple steps back that game, and Tampa was able to shut him down,
Right.
It's kind of how I remember it, So I think, can he make a jump from this year? I don't know why people think he can't. I don't. I honestly say I don't know. We'll see, but I want to give him a chance. Gian Lucas says, I really hope Hurts works out because I don't think Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, or Spencer Rattler are franchise quarterback material in the upcoming draft. I'm going to say this. I think Bryce Young is too small. Like, dude, he's too small. Like, he's like, what, like 5'9" or something? 180 pounds? So. Yeah. C.J. Stroud, I'm not so sure about. Spencer Rattler, I'm like, I didn't like what I saw of him last year, I didn't like. But I got to go watch more and stuff, James Bond, is that you? He says Hurts is garbage. You want 007.
The guy's only played a year and a half of football. That's it. He's only played a year and a half. That's why we didn't go crazy about Hurts early in the season last year, because technically it was still his rookie year. He only played a few games in 2020. So, I mean, he's only played a year and a half of football. That's it. Like, this was his only first year. Really, it wasn't even, he played a full year technically, but he was still playing throughout his rookie year too, because of the few games he played in 2020. So, another year is definitely going to be big for him this year. It will.
I mean, he doesn't have Josh Allen's arm. He doesn't definitely have a big arm. That's true. We all know it. But there's a lot of quarterbacks in this league that didn't have big arms, but they were definitely accurate, and they were very, very good at reading defenses. They were very good at throwing to spots, and they did had great mechanics. They didn't get there overnight. They had to work at it. And to me, I just think to say, well, Hurts can't do it now because he didn't do it this first year. I just think that's crazy. I think we got to give him a chance. Now, maybe he won't work. Maybe he won't be the guy. I don't know. But, I mean, I don't know that he's not going to. I think the best route and the best course of action for the Eagles is to put talent around them like they did with A.J. Brown, and then go out and let's see what he can do. They did exactly that. I don't know. That's my thought. Ira Mizzle, what's up, my man? I love that hat. Every time I see it, I love that hat. Jolo says 500. Joey, do you guys see AJ or Devontae getting over 1,000 yards, or do we have both of them do it? I'm going to say both of them are going to do it. I'm going both of them, which means Hurts has to throw more. But I'm going to say that he does it.
How do you think Quez is going to play on the number 3 cornerback in the
Quez
slot?
Should be great. Quez should be like our Quez. I see having like 17 to 18 yards, per catch. I think he's going to be one of the guys leading up there in blown balls. I think he's going to be our deep threat, a quick strike. He's the kind of guy that teams will forget about, and you can go 40, 50 yards to be wide open. He should feast. The question I have, and my only issue about Quez is, if you keep Rager, are you going to take snaps away from Quez? That is something that you just cannot do. You know what I mean? You can't do it.
You got Zach Pascal here, so what he's going to take? They signed him. That's his boy. Like, they're not going to take snaps away. There's no way to take snaps away.
I don't see Pascal as a third receiver, though.
I don't either. I see him. Yeah, I see him as a situational guy too for red zone, or like maybe having a big body on the inside for easy catches. So I don't know.
Yeah, Quez had what? How many yards did he have last year?
647.
647, something right? Was it
647?
647. If he would have had just more snaps, he could have had at least over 800 yards. Quez is a good player, man. Quez is good. I think the Eagles have the potential to have the scariest 3 wide receivers in the National Football League. You know, this could be like the greatest show on turf, round 2. You know,
definitely.
Oh gosh, it's our boy, Joe. Gosh, he legit. When you need to be made fun of, we put him up. 500. What's up, Tubby? 500 and Joey Fat Boy Shakes. Good draft. This is your guys' year to lose. If the Eagles don't make it to the second round, wedgies for you. Then they do. Booze the bet. Wedgie. Oh man, who's gonna give me a wedgie? He's trying to bet with you, I think. With you. Yeah, I think the Eagles. I mean, listen. I know Dallas fans are very upset about the Eagles all season. Giant fans haven't been too bad. Giants think they're a lot better now, and they're competing for the division. But I think realistically, I think you can say the Eagles are two games better at very worst.
Yeah,
I think it's fair to say the Eagles are 2 games better than they were last year with an easier schedule. So saying 11 wins is possible is not a stretch. Saying 12 games is possible to me is not a stretch at all.
True.
At all. You know? There you go. Got to pump the brakes. As much as I love Hurts, all it takes is one bad game in Philly to ruin a man's confidence. Yeah, well, I mean, that's true. That's why, if somebody asks me, hey, do you think he's the franchise quarterback? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I like everything about him. I'm rooting for him. But I'm in wait-and-see mode. I don't hate the guy. I want him to succeed. I want him to be great. But I don't know, And it's been hard to navigate through this whole, 2 years with Jalen Hurts because, you get the Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson. I mean, we've been through it how many times? So you don't really know what they're thinking. You know what I mean?
True, yeah.
It's crazy. Nobody that is on this chat that is a Cowgirl fan was alive when they won a Super Bowl. Yeah, probably not. Probably not. Let's see. What do you think? I have a question for you because what do you think of the running back situation now? Because I thought that they still needed another back, but did they get it in their undrafted free agent?
I think they might. I think, they keep Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, Kenny Gainwell, I think a big year, been working his tail off this offseason. He had 6 to 8 touchdowns last year, I think. I think Gainwell is not – I don't think there's – other than Miles Sanders, I don't think you have a threat. I think you have a good rotation. But Kennedy Brooks is kind of on my list right now from Oklahoma. He's a big back that can go through the tackles and gets into that second gear. And I think maybe they're looking at him right now. So, I mean, I have Kennedy Brooks maybe making this roster. I think they need that bruiser guy. I don't know if that Jerry Howard guy, I don't know if he's going to make the roster. I don't know if he just tried out. Maybe he didn't make the roster yet.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think they're looking for that big back. I think that's why they brought in both of those guys. I think that they keep 4 because now they have a lot. We kept 7 linebackers. We only kept 2 running backs last year, 7 linebackers. So we kept a lot of linebackers. We want to find that right combination. So I think it's really between Kennedy Brooks, and I think Kennedy Brooks may be in that 4th running back. We'll see.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Kara, she says, if you're a Cowboys fan in here who saw their last Super Bowl, please remember to take your ibuprofen and Tums. That's awesome. Totally agree. Jordan Howard, I don't. Is Jordan Howard? I don't think he's on this roster anymore, is he?
No.
He's a free agent
Free
still,
agent.
I believe. So
It's always another
he's not
option.
even on the roster. Yeah, I mean, you could bring him back. Look, listen. His problem isn't that he isn't effective when he plays. His problem is that he gets hurt for long stretches, just 2 long stretches. Like, I mean, I've never seen a guy 2 years in a row get a stinger and be out like 7 weeks.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
He was hurt for the
So
playoff game, I think.
Blaze, yeah. So Blaze, thank you for the super chases. What's up, guys? What's going on with you, my man? How are you?
What's going on, Suo?
Oh God, here we go. Westy Rock. Let's give you your 15 seconds here. Eagles have absolutely 0 history or nothing to talk about. Good thing a Patriot came in and won for you. 100%. What the hell are you talking about?
He was talking. I saw him in the chat. He said that LeGarrette Blount was the reason why we won that Super Bowl.
He said who?
LeGarrette Blount was the reason why. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. See how the Cowboys fans they always delude themselves with something. You know, I could give the Cowboys credit to Herschel Walker for 3 Super Bowls because that stupid trade that Minnesota did. Philly Day says, what happened to rookie minicamp? They had the first day was public, and they allowed just to press in, and after that was it. You weren't allowed to get anything out of it. Nothing came out of there, so we don't know.
Right.
They got OTAs coming up, so it's going to be interesting. I know this. I don't know how the hell I'm going to make it from now until preseason. Like, I am dying for training camp to start. Like, I cannot wait. I don't think I've been this hyped for a season since 2004. Because the year we won the Super Bowl, I didn't think the Eagles were going to be that good. I thought maybe we can be a playoff team. But this year,
Nothing compared.
The Eagles could surprise the world. They could shock the world. Everybody but us. We won't be shocked. You know?
Right.
Leon, thank you for super chasing. What's up, Denzel and Shake and Bake?
Oh, Shake and Bake,
man.
What's going on?
There you go.
I like that name.
Shake and Bake. There you go. VJ, man, thank you for super chat. He said, last report, cornerback 2, safety, Josh Jobe or Mario. Which one would you want? I guess is what he's asking. Now, there's some people that I saw that said that Mario could actually be converted to a safety. I actually seen it for both guys. I don't know. I mean,
Goodrich he's got range. Like he's shifty. I mean, he's got good lateral movement. He maybe he could become a safety. I mean, I think they should just put them. I think they should move these guys all over. Josh Jobe, I don't know as a starting corner just because of his size. So as an outside guy, he's really small. But I don't know. He's played safety as well.
Damn, Kara's destroying the Cowboys fans today. I don't tend to brag about my grandfather's accomplishments. Very true. At least we saw our Super Bowl. I mean, if you look at the majority of our fan base actually saw their team win a Super Bowl. You can't say that about the Cowboys, you know? Nick DeWitt, thank you for super chat. He says, pound thank you, Rager. Pound jingle bells, Markham smells. Yes, thank you, Rager. Are you talking about the 2 drop passes? Oh, my God. That
horrible.
Yeah, Rager, something's got to happen with him. Brian says, what, 500 Super Bowl? Maybe. I mean, it depends on Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts, for example, made the jump that Carson Wentz made in year 2 to 3, you're going to Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I think some people are really like, I mean, they really think they think that Hurts is like Tim Tebow. Like, I don't see it at all. I don't know. No.
There's no by you see what Tim Tebow did with us when we had him try when he was the backup quarterback in the offseason? How horrible.
Now That was a bad arm. Like that was a horrible arm.
He looked like a robot.
Okay, like that was horrible. Him and Hurts are nothing alike. What is AJ Brown? Listen, AJ Brown had 2,000-yard seasons in a run-heavy offense. You didn't hear the guy crying about not getting the ball enough or anything like that. He did his job. All he wanted to do was get paid. To me, I think he's actually more impressive than you think because he played with Henry and stuff, and they were running the ball. And I actually think a good comparison to AJ Brown for people that haven't seen him play is Anquan Bolden with speed, with a lot of speed. You know,
see that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dallas fans, you're going down this year. Baron says, "Yo, Philly Ojo, what's up?"
Yo.
Let's see. They're comparing the leadership aspect of the two. Oh, they're comparing the leadership of Tebow and of Hurts. Well, I mean, Tebow was considered a good leader, but I mean, Hurts is a better quarterback than him. I agree. Mean, I don't even think it's close. You know.
I agree.
Frank Joseph, there you go. Mark Holmes too. He kills Mark Holmes constantly. It's funny, crazy. Mark Holmes is mad at me, Frank. He's mad at me. Leon, he says Tebow was ass. He was. I mean, he was. Tebow should have just tried to play tight end a lot sooner. You know. I agree. A lot of hype for a team with no quarterback may have better wide receiver core, but our team as a whole is better. Well, I mean, if we take the quarterback out of it, the comparison between Dallas and the Eagles, and you just look offensively, right? The Eagles have a better offensive line. The Eagles have a better wide receiving core. The Eagles have a better tight end. And you might say you have a better running game, but I would say that the Eagles' running game is pretty decent. But let's say we even give running back slightly to Dallas. Okay, so offensively, the Eagles are better. Defensively, they have Micah Parsons, who's a beast. Oh, but great. I think a lot of that is negated by the Hassan Reddick deal, right? Because Parsons is 13 sack guy. Reddick is 11 sack guy. So I think you negate a lot of that. I think the Eagles linebacker is way more improved. Even if you want to say the Cowboys linebacking core is still better, okay, I'm going to say Darius Slay is better than Diggs, even though they don't agree. But all they need to go and look at is the yards given up between Darius Slay and Diggs. It's a big difference. And then they might have an argument at cornerback and at safety. But overall, I mean, to me, I think the Eagles are a better team. The question is the quarterback.
Yeah.
You know? Alex Rodriguez, thank you for Super Chat. He says, Dallas has owned the NFC East the last 2 years, especially the Eagles. Well, they didn't win the division the last 2 years. What are you talking about? Nobody has won back-to-back divisions. How can you own a division and not win it? You only won it last year. You didn't win it the year before. Will Davian Taylor be here? That's a great question. I think they keep him around. I think the hope is that White is a one-year deal, right? So White's here for 1 year. Hopefully, I think they want Taylor to take over his spot after a year. But I'm going to say this. Nakobe Dean has to start immediately. I have to get Nakobe Dean out there immediately.
Doubt. You know, no doubt. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. It's true. And upgraded Hurts is going to be a beast. Now, listen, if Hurts throws 25 touchdowns and runs for 8 to 10 more, the Eagles are running away with this division. Yeah. We got over 490 people in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, make sure you make sure you subscribe. Click the link in the description and go sub up with my man Joey Shakes. See, apparently I missed the super chat. VJ, let me see, VJ. Let me go back and see.
I didn't see it.
The chat's going way. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I did miss it. Stupid me. I apologize, VJ. But VJ, David Super Chat says, "What if Rager becomes a star on cornerbacks number 3, 5th-year option?" I'm not giving him a 5th-year option.
But for what he's making, I mean,
well, you'd have to pay him like $11 million in his option year, I think, something like that. Well, here's the thing. And he does bring up an interesting point. Rager is now going to go up against the third corner also. Do the Eagles think, well, Rager is a first-round pick, we can put him up against third-round corners? See, I think Quez Watkins is just a better receiver, so he should play more. But I don't know that the Eagles do that, man. I don't,
Yeah.
I
don't think you're not gonna have three guys that they're gonna shuffle on the inside. They're gonna have three guys that are gonna shuffle on the inside between Pascal, Ward, and Rager. I mean, it makes no sense. Like,
yep.
Yeah.
Illuminati members flirting with Kara. He says Kara Poo is beautiful. Of course she is. Of course. Joe says Cowboy fans remember that Philly special as much as Eagle fans. I know they do. I think Cowboy fans are scared, Joey. I do. I can't wait. I can't wait to play Dallas. Can't wait.
They're not the talk of the offseason this year.
No, they're not. And I'm not even sure that they're better than Washington. That's the funny thing. Like, I don't even know that they're better than Washington, because you can say what you want about Carson Wentz. He still threw 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
Good year.
Dude.
Good year.
Yeah. He
Just
came up small in big situations. He choked. Yeah, but Dallas chokes too. The only problem with Dallas being not that good next year is that you can't see the choke, because you're guaranteed the big letdown at the end of the year every year with Dallas,
Exactly.
Jay Slay says, with multiple touchdowns called back and penalties at the worst time, new coaching staff and playbook, we still won 9 games and made the playoffs. The future is very bright. That is true. I mean, geez, I've never seen a quarterback, especially over like a 3-week stretch, where he had so many touchdowns called back, guys out of bounds. Remember Rager out of bounds? I mean, that was a good throw. Rager steps out of bounds. That's a touchdown. Then they had Goddard had a couple touchdowns, and they would get called back. You probably had like 7 touchdowns called back.
True.
You know what I mean? Hurts better get that. Listen, Hurts has to improve. I'm not saying he's there, he's arrived, or he's going to be great. I'm saying that I think he's better than some people say he is, and I think he deserves the chance. I think he's a good quarterback. The question is he a franchise quarterback? And that is something that we're going to have to see play out.
Yeah.
Micah just saying a sack guy. He runs fast as your quarterback and near as talented he is. Hey, listen, Micah Parsons is a great player. A great player. He's got to do it more than 1 year though. But he's a great player. I'm not going to say he's. I think Mark Holmes is nuts trying to compare him to Lawrence Taylor, but he's a good player. There's no question about it.
True.
But what about everybody around them? They lost a lot of players this year. Let's see. Quez doesn't get enough respect. Quez does not get enough. I agree with you, Baron. And I think it starts with the coaching staff. I think the coaching staff needs to get him the ball more. Frenzy says 500. What percentage do the Lions have to win against us week 1? Just guess. I'm going to say 40% chance. I'm going to say just because it's home first game. I'll say 40%. I think I saw the Eagles were already favored in that game. But listen, the Eagles should start 2-0. They should beat the Lions and they should beat Minnesota Monday night. Dallas, who did Dallas open up with? They open up against Tampa Bay and Cincinnati. First 2 weeks. At home.
They're 5-6 games and then they got the LA Rams too within those 5-6 weeks.
They got
plus
the Rams
on top of it.
What I don't understand is how people say they have the easiest schedule. When you look at some of their games, they're harder than ours.
Right.
Eagle fans always say they played our third stringers like they didn't get destroyed in the first. No, the first game counts. Definitely first game counts. But the third game, you did play our third string.
You got to be real with yourself.
Keep it real. A couple years ago, I think we beat Dallas and Dallas set their starters. This was like maybe 2016, I think. And the thing is, I said, I don't count that game. Dallas sat their starters. But now it's the opposite way, and they don't even acknowledge it. You're going to be pissed if Quez isn't start. I think Quez starts if Rager's gone. If Rager's still there, I'm afraid that, they're going to get the call from the front office saying, we're paying this guy this much money. He's got to play. That's what I worry about, But I think Quay should be your slot receiver.
I believe it.
Yep. Bradberry or Fuller? I want Bradberry. See, I think Bradberry, I think he's not a superstar number one. But I think if he was a number 2 corner on your team opposite Darius Slay, I think that's pretty good, man. I think that's better than having Steven Nelson there.
Oh, I think he's better than Steven Nelson. I think so. I think he's better than Steven Nelson, to be honest.
Yeah. Apparently, Niners are interested in Bradberry. That wouldn't surprise me at all. The stinking Niners. Yeah, they better not take him, Let's see. Hurts' leadership will go further than Dak's arm, considering Dak's arm isn't as great as they say it is. Listen, his leadership is fantastic. And the one thing I would say the Cowboy fans have to start asking themselves is, after 7 years of Prescott being your starting quarterback, you only have one playoff win. If he was in Philly, Eagle fans would be killing him. They would be killing him. At what point is Dak just not coming up big in playoff games?
That's it. Yeah.
They've lost 2 home games in the playoffs. You can't lose home games, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like their players have flashy statistics during the year, but once it comes to the playoffs, I mean, everybody fell apart. I mean, between Diggs and the quarterback position, the offensive line, I mean, it all fell apart. So,
Frenzy Productions says 500. It's a random question. What is your opinion on air conditioners, any brand? My opinion of air conditioners are they are the greatest invention in the history of mankind. They're the greatest thing ever. I say turn them on. I say blast the mother humper. I say keep it at 65, 62. I got mine on at 65 degrees right now. I love air conditioners, and everybody should have at least 2. That's my philosophy. Air conditionings are the greatest. When I was growing up, you used to go to my grandparents' house or something. They wouldn't put the air conditioner on. And they have all the windows open and no air conditioning. Then they were old school Italians, and they would have the couches with the plastic still on because they didn't take the plastic off. And you try to sit on the couch, you're all sticking. Oh God, it was miserable. I love air conditioning. Joey Zambito, man, thank you so much for super chat. He says, "What's up, guys? What receivers would you keep?" I would keep. Here's who I would keep: AJ, Devontae, Quez, Pascal, and Ward. And then I would have one more spot where I'd let them fight it out.
Agreed.
That's who I would. That's what I would say. And here's my thoughts on air conditioning. Like I always tell, like when my mom comes, she always complains it's too cold. My mom comes out and she's got like a scarf on and hat, and she's got gloves, and it's like 70 degrees. And I turned the air up for her. And I'm like, the thing is when you're cold, you can put stuff on. But when you're hot, you can only take so much stuff off. And you're still hot,
Agreed.
I don't know. I love air conditioning. It's the greatest invention ever. Dwayne says, so glad to come to the stream. There is so much hate in this world. I'm mentally exhausted. We win in division, but yeah, the world's crazy right now, man. It's disgusting. I can't even watch. I don't even watch news. I just shut it off. I can't. It just depresses me too much. JJ says, but we still whooped y'all ass on the first game. True, that's true. What's the excuse with that one? Ha 5-1 laughing my ass off. More like we don't even know if y'all better than the Commanders. All right, so let me try to give you an excuse. Although I don't want to give you an excuse and just say you beat us, I prefer that. But let me take a shot at an excuse. The excuse is that the Eagles, early on in the season, did not find themselves. They were throwing the ball 30 times a game, way too much, and they hadn't adjusted their offense and to what they're good at. And if the Eagles late in the season played that game, they would have destroyed Dallas. But they hadn't found themselves yet. So I don't want to give you an excuse, but I think I landed it. I think I nailed it. If you're gonna make me do it, you know what I mean? Foul says air conditioning is the absolute best. Being cold is better than being hot. You can always get warm, but in the summer it's brutal. Agreed. Agreed. Jeremiah says, "I'm not keeping word, so we keep Kobe." Well, don't we got to see? We got to see what he does, though, right? Like, I mean, we haven't even watched him play. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. What about heaters? Heaters are important too. I mean, you know, especially in places that are cold for people to be hot and warm. I think they're important. Although I don't run my heat. I don't run it. I let it get to like 55 degrees in here. I say, put a jacket on. Put a jacket on. And says CD is better than AJ Brown. He's younger and has more upside. How old is CD Lamb? I don't know offhand. How old is he? He can't be that much older.
No, I don't think
AJ
so.
Brown just turned 24.
Mm-hmm.
So AJ Brown is 24. So Joey's MB to David Super Chat. He says, gotta stay cool, level up. What about Kobe? Since his return game is great, he can come in for gadget plays and return like a mother humper. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to watch him play.
Right.
You know, he's making a jump to the NFL. He's definitely got a lot of upside. I'm excited to. I'm telling you, this preseason is going to be fun to watch. There's a lot of guys that are going to be playing late that you're going to be absolutely fascinating, fascinating to watch. But one thing I will say, they can't come into preseason and play Hurts one drive the whole preseason.
No,
like they gotta play him.
I hope they don't. I hope they don't. That's all I got to say. Because he'll look like crap that first game. I mean, he probably won't. I mean, not saying he'll look like that bad, but he's gonna look like he hasn't played in a while. Which I hope they don't do that.
Yeah. So Lamb is 23, so he's a year older. You're talking 1 year. I mean, it's not like 3 years; it's 1 year. I know. Talking sports with Landon. What's going on, man?
Come on, bro.
Joe Higashi legit leg kick. Says they lose. Both Philly 500 and Joey are putting their underwear where their mouth is. Pause on that one. Because if they don't make it a second round, they both getting wedgies on live for the chat. Fat Boys rule. I can't imagine me getting a wedgie on live stream. That would be disgusting. You know. Are we getting James Bradberry? I don't know. I mean, I haven't, he got cut and it kind of went really quiet after he was cut. Haven't heard anything from anybody about it. I don't know. Lamb has dropsies like Aguilar. Yeah, and Lamb's going to have the best corner on him now, right? He was, the third receiver on that team? So, the advantages that we're saying Quez is going to have, CD has had. It's going to be a little different next year. And then you got, you lose Cedric Wilson, a guy who I really, really liked. And then you have Gallup coming back from injury, which you don't know how he's going to be the first year back. Dallas could be in a situation where I could see where the trade deadline is coming and they're trying to get a wide receiver. Like I could see Dallas legitimately trying to get a wide receiver. And if they want Jalen Reagor, we'll trade him to you. You know what I mean? I'm good with that. If Howie gets Bradberry, all is forgiven from my end. I know a lot of people have completely forgiven Howie. I got one more year to go.
I can't complain at all right now.
Yeah, no, I have no complaints about Howie this offseason at all. At all. Cowboy fans were hurt spring, but now since they got all reaches in the draft, they feel good. Yeah, it took them like 2 days to get over it. Like they hated their draft the day one. Did you see Cowboys hated their draft first night? Second night they come back and they're like, oh, and you know what? It's really not that bad. It's like, okay, you're talking yourselves into it. It's the same thing the Giants fans did last year when they wanted Devontae Smith and then they couldn't get him. So then they draft Kadarius Toney, and remember they have complete meltdowns night one of the draft. Night two, we're getting people chatting us. Oh, we wanted Kadarius Toney all along.
Right.
Over Devontae. Yeah, okay. Come on.
And you're letting him go after 1 year. They're trying to trade him after 1 year. When those reports came out.
Yep. 500. Remember when I said you could get up and start dancing for that one stream? Could you do it this stream? I can't do it this stream, but one of these streams I'll dance for you. How about that? I'll throw the white. I think there's gonna be a lot of white rerun, a lot of cigar smoking this year. It's going to be fun. Marcus says that's my GM. That's my quarterback Terrell Owens impression. Absolutely. I look Howie the last 2 years seems like he's had a really good draft. And the Nakobe Dean pick, I mean, we talked about that like a lot last week, but my God, I still can't believe that we got Nakobe Dean, dude. I can't believe it. Let's see here. Dario Gomez, thank you for super chat. He said, "Did you see Traylon Burks gas out in practice?" I did see it, and I saw Joey. You made a video on it, man. What are your thoughts on that whole thing?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it was, there's some Nashville reporters that went to the, a couple of the practices. I think the first practice, he just looked like he was, out of breath, and and there was a lot of rumors about it. And obviously, the combine wasn't great for him, and a lot more showed on tape. And I think it does too. I think after like the first day, he looked a lot better. It was really just the first day. He looked just really gassed. He needed a lot of rest. So.
Yeah. S.O. was it? I don't know what that name says, but Tiger or something. Tiger Kick. Respect Joey and Philly. Been watching every stream since pre-draft. I'm in Cali. Just bought my tickets to the Cardinals-Eagles October 9th. So stoked. Fly, Eagles, fly. How do you all feel about the matchup? The Cardinals matchup? I went to the Eagles-Cardinals in Arizona when it was like right before Chip Dip Kelly got fired. We got destroyed. It was embarrassing. But
200 yards rushing by what's his face?
Yeah, it was brutal. I think he got fired for that game or the week after.
Yeah.
It was like it wasn't long after. I mean, listen, the thing with the Arizona game, that could be a game where I say we win and we could have problems because Arizona could be good. They can. The thing is Kyler Murray going to play? Like, what's the deal with him in the holdout? And then you have DeAndre Hopkins. He's not playing. He's going to be suspended the first 6 weeks. So that's a big break, too. But we've struggled. We have struggled in Arizona before in the past. So I don't think that's a gimme game. That could be one of those games where we feel like we should have won and we lose.
True.
I don't know what he's going to do, but man, thank you for your support, man. We appreciate it, man. And you need to let us know how the whole trip goes when you go out there for that game. Tori Vessel, Kyler Murray's going to hold Arizona back. They could. They totally could. Y'all talk, but Dak owns you. I don't get, to be honest, because apparently you guys want another ass beating or shut the fuck up, Philly losers. I want the damn smoke. You're going to get the smoke. You're going to get all that smoke because all I can say to the Cowboy fans is 14 seconds. What moronic team runs a quarterback draw with 14 seconds and no timeouts? Literally, like your coach is a moron. Your quarterback hasn't won anything in the playoffs but one game. He choked 2 home games. We won a Super Bowl while Dak Prescott was the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. We've actually won a Super Bowl. We don't sweat Dak Prescott. I think Dallas blew their load last year. I think it's all over for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I want the smoke too. Bring it. That's every year we them boys we win a Super Bowl. Every year we won the playoffs. Poof. Absolutely. We struggle in Arizona going back to even when Arizona was back in our division. It just seems like we always do. So that game I had to win. That could be that loss that I say that we're better than that team.
True.
Because it's not an easy place to play. But I just don't know what's going on with him. Brian says, I hope that Jermaine Johnson II doesn't have the type of career I think he will. I really wanted him. Pause. Yeah, I liked him. He went much later than people were. I mean, people had him top 12. And he went late first round.
Who got him? The Jets?
I feel this. Jets, yeah.
Good. Yeah, it was a good value pick.
Jets, it was a great value pick. Jets had a fantastic draft. He may be good. I feel the same way that Brian does about Jermaine Johnson. I feel about Ajabo, and then having Ajabo go to Baltimore makes me feel like I'm right about him. New Era says we need Hurts to step it up this year because these wide receivers are finally going to snap. Yeah, I think so, and I think that the thing about Hurts is that there's no excuse. Nobody's going to come out of the season going, well, the Eagles didn't get him enough weapons. We don't really know what he is. I think that we don't have to worry about that being an argument. You know what I mean? We're going to either know or not know, you know? Hey, Philly, who's better, Parsons on Dean? Oh, I mean, Parsons is better. Parsons actually did it at the pro level. But, you know, Dean is pretty good. I really think they're two different kind of linebackers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think if you want to – I think Hassan Riddick would be more a better comparison than Dean Dean to Parsons. Right. You know, and I would say he's better than him. I think Parsons is a legit beast. I'm not going to take anything away from him. I'm only going to argue what Mark Holmes tries to compare him to Lawrence Taylor. I think that's ridiculous. Brad Wright says, Mark still shows the Wentz fumble with the clown laugh to troll the Eagles, and his Colt cracks up still. I know. They're scared, man. They're scared. Josh Anderson, what's the first Kelly Green jersey you'll purchase for current players? Oh, man, that's a great question. I've got 3 I'm probably getting right away. Devontae, A.J. Brown, and Nakobe Dean. I really want a Nakobe Dean jersey. A good linebacking jersey. Yeah.
I might even go.
It might have to be Dean.
I might even go Jordan Mailata on top of that, maybe. Who knows? Maybe.
Oh, yeah, offensive lineman. Yeah. I mean, I haven't the last linebacking jersey I had an old Seth Joyner jersey back when I was like 15 years old. And I've never been able to find another one. I want to get a throwback Joyner. But I had a Seth Joyner jersey back in the day. So I haven't had a linebacker since. So I really like to get Nakobe Dean. Philly Day 3. I feel like we'll eventually trade for Justin Fields after the season. Really?
Whoa.
Why do you feel like that? Like, if Chicago don't want him, why do we want him? I'm going to link for Pittsburgh's game. My wife is a Steelers fan. I think she's going to have a rough day. I think so. I mean, I don't know what to expect from the Steelers. Right? Is Kenny Pickett starting for them?
No, Trubisky probably is going to start. I mean, who knows? He could win the job over Trubisky or Trubisky's going to lose the job.
Trubisky. Yeah, he stinks. Tex says, Eagles went into the playoffs knowing we would lose. Cowboys went in thinking they would win. Eagle fans weren't shattered. Cowboys were on suicide watch running with 15 seconds left. Yeah, 15 seconds, no timeouts left. Yeah, I mean, we weren't expected to win. We were on the road. They were at home, dude. They were at home. So we've done an hour and 20 minutes. We're going to do about, a couple more minutes. Then we're going to close up because it is late, especially on the East Coast. But I want to thank everybody for watching. We really appreciate it. If you haven't, make sure you click the link in the description. Sub up my man Joey. Sub up Philly. Make sure you're still subscribed too. What do you have planned for this week? What do you have planned for this week, Joey?
Streaming all week, every day this week. Gonna have some videos. I'm trying to. I mean, I might be doing a call-in. I kind of promised the past couple weeks I would do one. I don't know when. I think it's a good idea for. I mean, maybe me and you have been talking about it too. Like once you get to the June, July dead months, we'll get some content creators or some fans of both channels in here. So just get everybody's plan on
I think I'd like to get content creators who are up and coming on here, help them out. Promote their channel. I think that would be cool. Daz Deal says Blood Moon happening right now. Go outside, peeps. I'll have to check it out. Blood Moons are cool. I'm gonna be streaming this week. I'm gonna stream a lot this week. I was supposed to do one of my channel members Zoom today, but I just with the cats being born, I just didn't have time. But I'm gonna be doing a bunch of streams after Tuesday. Tuesday I got to go. They're having a funeral service for my father-in-law, so I got to do that on Tuesday. But after that, things should start to ease up for me a little bit. See, I win $5 every time Mark's mentioned the Eagles. $10 if he says Jordan Davis' name. He about to buy me a new car. I love it. Well, I'm going to keep sending him pictures, making him say it. Because I keep sending him picture after picture after picture, So this will be interesting. DeForest Shields says 500. Remember, I said that my Miami Heat was going to beat your 76ers. Harden is trash, and the Sixers should replace him ASAP. Because James is washed up, pound facts. My thoughts on the Sixers are, and I don't feel people talk enough about this, but you shouldn't have got rid of Jimmy Butler. I said
100%.
when in that Toronto series, when it was game time, I was like, you cannot let this guy go. You should never have let Jimmy Butler go. That's what killed you. They would have won 2 championships, I believe, with Jimmy Butler right now.
True.
So now, Harden don't look good. He don't. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't, but it's frustrating, Fake news is on Dean and benefit the Eagles. Now listen, the only thing I cared about during the whole rookie minicamp was Dean. Dean was going to practice and take part. And I watched him, and he was running. He was moving. He didn't look banged up at all.
Yeah, no, he looked good. He looked good.
Yep. You guys got rid of Butler for Tobias. Yeah, well, they got rid of Butler also because they didn't want to fire the coach. It was a mistake. I said it was a mistake, and I don't feel like, like a lot of Sixers fans blame, the whole process. But it's not the process. It's that you let Jimmy Butler go. That was the guy you had to keep. There's no way I would have ever let him out the door. And there's videos of me. You can go back to the Toronto, like me screaming about keeping Butler. So, it is what it is. It's a shame, And I like Joel Embiid. I mean, he was playing banged up, and he fought through it. So
he did what he could. How much more are we going to ask of him to play? I mean, there's only so much we can ask of him to do.
Yeah, if Embiid was healthy, the series goes 4-2. Yeah, probably.
I agree.
It probably would, but he was just beat the hell. And the problem is you have Harden. Harden's supposed to step up and kind of help you in that situation. Nobody helps Embiid. So it's a horrible situation. The Butler loss is the big mistake. It was the big mistake, and they've got to figure out they got to get somebody else. They do, It's going to be interesting. I like Maxey. You can build with him. I would try to move Tobias, and I would try. I don't know what I would do with Harden, but they got to get somebody else, man. All right, guys. Well, listen. I want to thank you guys for joining us on a late stream. We'll be back next Saturday on Joey's channel. We'll be back to normal schedule. It's been a crazy few days, and anything you want to say in closing, Joe?
Hey guys, we're gonna see what they do at the corner spot, safety spot, and then obviously, this is gonna be a good time. Like I know there's people out there who think that OTAs and training camps boring, but to be honest with you, like I'm actually really excited to see like some of these undrafted guys and see the competition behind some of these behind some of these positions that we really need. So I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Can't wait to preseason, and we got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of stuff to get ready for. So. It's going to be fun. I see Mavericks in here pissed off again. I love it. Mav, I'm going to give you something to laugh at. You got to find a way to get Bradley B. You got to find a way to get him, Damian Lillard, somebody like that, please. But they got to do something. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. But anyways, guys, well, with that said, we're going to let you guys go. Like, subscribe if you haven't. Click the link in the description. So about my man Joey Shakes. We'll be back next Saturday. And then, Joey's going to be running strong all week. I'll have some videos out Monday, Tuesday, and then I'll be doing a lot more from Wednesday on. So look for all those things. And with that said, we are going to let you guys go. Take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. Peace.
Hey, the officials are bad.
We had one.
Yo, you gotta be motherfucking kidding me.
You got to be kidding me. We have no time for one more play.
Look at this motherfucker
What are you doing?
running from
What are you doing?
to get off the field on third down.
What was that bullshit?
That is not right. Kellen Moore, he's got to be better, man. He wasn't.
Oh, that's some bullshit. What was that? We had enough time for one more
We
play.
had an opportunity to win that game at the end.
But the referee screwed us. The brother screwed us.
I'm upset, but
The brother screwed us.
At least they fought back and tried.
Only Cowboys games.
Yeah, you
The
literally.
brother screwed us. The brother screwed us.
It's going to end the way.
We had one. We had an opportunity for